We are back on Get Up, and at the bottom of the hour, let's run through the action of Game 1s across the Eastern Conference in the NBA this past weekend. The Pistons were the only home team to lose. They fell to the 8-seed Magic 112-101 yesterday. Monica, was that a bad game or a bad sign for Detroit?
I think it's a bad sign, Greeny, only because when you dig into this one a little bit, I actually think this is a great matchup in terms of two teams that stylistically are similar. Physical, want to defend, and are comfortable if a game has a little bit of offense.
Meanwhile, Vince, you are my Detroit guy, so what up, though?
What up, though, Greeny?
Is this I worked with Jalen for a long time.
Yes.
Well, how concerned should you be right now if you're the fan of the Pistons?
Concerned but not alarmed. They'll play Game 2 on Wednesday. They will discover that, hey, Jalen Duren is an all-star. We do have other weapons that we can deploy here, and we're supposed to be the most physical defense in the league. They did not make Orlando feel uncomfortable at all yesterday.
The Celtics made the Sixers very uncomfortable.
Oh, boy.
And an absolute whitewash in Game 1 of that series. Vince, did Jason Tatum and the Celtics put everybody on notice yesterday?
If you weren't on notice, I'm trying to figure out where you were. This team looks ready. Jason Tatum looks like he's making the game easy. That is the scary part for the Celtics.
Monica.
Yeah, in the post-game interview with our George Sedano, Jason Tatum talked about the ramp-up in the 16 games. If this turns into a series in which he can continue his ramp-up and just get better, oh boy, the notice level might go up.
Well, and that brings us then to the team that they might get in the next round, and that would be the Knicks, who had a good performance. I thought a very good performance Saturday evening at home in Game 1 against Atlanta. The formula, I thought, was there. It was Jalen Brunson early. It was Karl-Anthony Towns late. It was their increased depth in between. Monica, you know this team better than anybody. What did you see from them in Game 1?
I loved the balance of the performance. You are absolutely right in terms of your all-stars giving you bookend signature moments in the first and in the fourth quarter. But in the mix of that, you've got a very efficient OG Anunoby. You got Josh Hart, who pulled up with 14 rebounds in that one, and Mikal Bridges, who was steady, and you're getting your bench guys into rhythm as well. It's good to see Deuce McBride back in the fold healthy. That was the formula to me. Karl-Anthony Towns is the single figure that the Hawks do not have an answer for. They went to Hack-a-Mitch. I will see if that holds as the series continues, but even Mitchell Robinson on the glass is a problem.
Well, Quinn Snyder said before the game when I asked him about Karl Towns, he said, look, you got to make calculations on this. When OG Anunoby scores 20 or more, the Knicks are 24-3. When Karl Towns does it, they're 26-15. So basically, he's taking a gamble on the Knicks' second-best player, but most important player. The undersold thing for me was that Nickeil Alexander-Walker, averaged 21 a game, had 17, did not look comfortable at all. I was more impressed with the Knicks defensively in the second half more than I was anything else.
Well, you were talking last week with us here about how Karl-Anthony Towns was the most important piece of the puzzle for the Knicks. Did you consider what we saw from them on Saturday night, what we saw from him on Saturday night? Was that the formula?
Absolutely, it was. He's the most important player in the NBA as far as not a star player, a number one option. He's that critical to the Knicks' success when you consider the stakes and everything that's on the Knicks right now. And when you look at inside-outside game, he was masterful.
We had Vince and Shump was here all week long, and he was making that point over and over, that this is about Karl-Anthony. You know what you're going to get from Jalen Brunson. Basically, he seems like money in the bank. And the Knicks are a team, look, and I love Tibbs, but they are a team that plays more guys now, and they are going to get more contributions from others. But someone else has to be there when it's time to win the game, and that someone has to be Karl-Anthony Towns.
We all agree. I mean, we can kumbaya on that one, and I think Karl-Anthony Towns understands that as well. The one thing that I am watching is what it looks like. Like, he shot the three ball decently in Game 1. I love when he's getting into the paint. He admitted a post-game that he had to work through the rust of that first half. But if he is aggressive and can stay out of foul trouble, because the other thing that I think goes unheralded about Karl-Anthony Towns' game is he's a very willing passer. And when he's holding the ball at the top of the key, extended like this, and dishing on back cuts that energize the guard and getting OG Anunoby, Bridges, and Hart going, it's a thing of beauty.
You need to keep your bigs involved. Like, bigs need to touch the ball just psychologically. If you want them to defend, they got to touch the ball. And Karl, even though he's a good post player, you don't want to steady feed him like that all the time. You want to keep the spacing there. They've been walking this balance all season long, Greeny. He's been efficient, but it hasn't always looked fluid. Yeah. And with Jalen Brunson and the amount of shots that he takes, they're finding a balance between those two guys.
And the thing about it, though, this matchup will not demand anyone being like, go, post him up. Like, that's not exactly how Onyeka Okongwu defends either. And so he has advantages when he is facing up, which is his preferred attack.
And what I've said to everybody is the Knicks are going to be different in these playoffs because The thing about Tom Thibodeau teams is that they play games in November like it's the playoffs. The Knicks, they didn't have another gear to go to. They have another gear to go to now. I think they looked very good on Saturday night. They have game 2 tonight. So let's do Hitting the Mark, which is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. And let's do OG Anunoby in that game. Monica, let's talk about one of the props you like, and it is about this Knicks star.
Yeah, so it's OG Anunoby totaling 25 in points, rebounds, and assists. He had 19 in game 1, and I hear you, Quinn Snyder, on your philosophy. But if I combine all of those things, I think he gets to 25 or better. He's playing good ball here at home.
Minnesota, Denver tonight as well. Vince, what do you like in Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards was smiling on the sideline on the bench at the end of the game. He knew something that we don't know. I think he's going to have a big game in game 2 tonight. As long as he looks healthy, as long as that runner's knee that he has, holds up, I think he's going to do just fine. He might get 30-plus tonight.
So the over is 25, and Vince likes it. Let me give you one more. On the other side of that matchup, Nikola Jokic, 30 points. You like the over?
I like the over because he has no problems with Rudy Gobert guarding him or Julius Randle guarding him. And I think these games call for it. When you're trying to go up 2-0, you want to send a message to the other team. You have to win 4 out of 5 games if you win game 2. I think Jokic is going to put his stamp on tonight.
Boy, did he look good in game 1. So to recap, we're going over on Anunoby with the total on points, rebounds, and assists. Over on Anthony Edwards, 25 points, and over on Jokic, 30. If you like those picks, they're a parlay on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Look for the Hitting the Mark featured parlay priced at plus 550.
Playoff debut of Victor Wembanyama.
Don't tap that glass, don't tap that glass, don't tap that glass, don't tap that glass, there's a mobster already. Don't tap that glass, don't tap that glass, baby. Don't tap that glass, don't tap that glass.
You've got to be kidding me here.
Don't tap that glass, there's a mobster already.
Oh, I love it. 35-5. What a debut for Victor.
NBA analyst Monica McNutt with us now. And Monica, man, every time I see Wemby play, I kind of think of that Lil Wayne line when he said, "We are not the same, I am a Martian." Because every time I see this man play, he is truly out of this world. So how do you put his playoff debut into perspective?
Well, Scooby, I think you just look at the history that he was able to make in that debut. The first Spurs to have 35 points in a postseason debut. Like, added to the list of superlatives that we continue to associate with Victor Wembanyama. In the course of the basketball game, I thought the three-point shooting was so impressive, going 5 of 6 from deep. And once he settled down after that first quarter, the physicality that the Portland Trailblazers attempt to offer, and just the general nerves, because he still is human, no matter how extra otherworldly he is, I thought he did a great job of just playing basketball. He seemed comfortable out there. I thought his teammates were balanced. And we'll continue to see if this is the type of performance that we get from him consistently.
Yeah, one piece of advice that he said he got from Hakeem the Dream in his interview with Malika Andrews was, hey, you don't have to wait to win. And it seems like the Spurs are ready to get it going. But over in the East, for the first time in the play-by-play era, a one seed did not lead at any point in their playoff opener. The Orlando Magic seemed to catch the Pistons lacking. So are you concerned about Detroit here? And could they actually lose this series against an 8 seed?
I don't expect Detroit to lose, but I do think this is the worst matchup that Detroit could have drawn in the first round. There's a little bit of an asterisk for maybe a healthy Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers, but these teams, in many ways, mirror one another. Now, granted, the Orlando Magic as an 8 seed underachieved in the eyes of many as you came into this season as far as the expectations of this core that should have been taken a step further from last season. But when I look at the physicality, when I look at the size, when I look at the three-point shooting, actually in favor of the Magic, right? So I just think that this is going to be a tough matchup. Yes, the seedings are 1 and 8, but I do think that this is one that could easily go 7 games because the Magic are as comfortable in a physical, low-scoring type of battle as the Pistons are.
Great analysis from Monica McNutt. You can catch her more on Get Up later on. Thank you.